What's up, dudes and dudettes? It's your man Evan B, broadcasting live from Crazy Cat's Tattoos, and today I'm bringing you an unboxing review, a very special one I'm super excited about. This is the NERF Hyperfire Elite. Pretty sweet, I think. I went through several trips to multiple Walmarts to get my hands on one of these, so I am very excited to bring you this unboxing. And without further ado, let's go ahead and just crack on into it. It looks on the front we're getting a 90-foot range claim. It also tells us that this package comes with 25 darts. We've got a fire rate claim of 5 darts per second, which I have no opinion on at this point. And it's telling us that we need 4 D batteries. On the back, it tells us that this blaster comes with a 25 round drum, fires 5 darts per second, fully motorized, and 45% of the darts are going to get between 85 and 98 feet, and 55% of the darts are going to get less than 85 feet. So I guess the range claim is up to 90 feet. That predominantly this is going to fall short of that while it's operating, but you know, heck, it's not a terrible range claim at all. We'll see at least how it does rate of fire wise when we take it to the temporary butt range here. I've got my handy dandy Gerber, and we'll go ahead and crack on into this bad boy. It's a fully enclosed package. I mean, we've got a box rather than a open face package, so I like that. I feel like this way there's nobody playing with my blaster before I have a chance to. So long box. Inside we've got the blaster itself, the drum, the darts, and it looks like some instructions here. I'm assuming this is going to be as simple as opening the battery door, popping some batteries in it, and rock and roll skis, but I do know it takes D batteries, which I have some here that I purchased a while ago for another blaster that I ended up not using them, or I bought D's on accident. I needed C's. Let's see, how's this? See, that's why I love closed box packaging. Wow, even without the batteries in this is a pretty heavy blaster. We've got the 25 round drum, which is different, I guess, than the other 25 round drums of NERF Yore. Hawkeye, early on when he got one of these, realized that the drum did not fit in certain NERF blasters because of this new lip here. It wasn't fitting in, I think it was the Recon Mark II and also the Raven. The new drum wouldn't fit in. So Fowler told me that they've since fixed that, or at least on his it doesn't work that way. So I don't know if you get those early ones may not work, and for that, and these new ones seems to be okay. As far as size, it's pretty comfortable. I have to definitely, as a longer guy, kind of choke up on this, but as a whole, this is not terrible. My hand is kind of rubbing on the nubbin there, but as a whole, it's not uncomfortable. I think maybe over long-term play, I would prefer stick mags to the drum, but another 25 round drum is definitely nice, especially if it functions well. Looks like we've got a jam door up here that also exposes the mechanism, the pusher mechanism, which is a conveyor belt in this blaster rather than your normal doop 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 pusher like a rapid strike. And it looks like you have to flip that closed and lock that down. We've got one end strike rail up there, and that's all she wrote for end strike rails. You've literally got this one little mini rail up at the top. I do not see any other on the blaster. The handhold for me is relatively comfortable. I have big hands, but even with it being this kind of like cutaway thumb, finger, rest of your hand grip, not too bad. I could see possibly running into some trouble with this stock slash battery area over the long term, because my palm does kind of want to rub right there, but I guess that's probably me being more picky than anything. Cheek rest is at nice nice placement, and the iron sights are irony. I don't know how functional they'll be, but I guess we'll give it a try. Let's go ahead and pop some batteries in this bad boy. I've got some precision screwdrivers here. Usually these work just fine for battery doors. I don't necessarily recommend using precision screwdrivers for like modification stuff, taking blasters apart, because it will just wear hell on your fingers. But for doing this, unless this has been like, oh man, no, that's super in there. So I'm probably gonna have to go get, yeah, I'm probably gonna have to go get a better screwdriver. We'll try it with the flathead and see. Oh man. A lot of my precision screwdrivers, at least these cheapo ones, I'll take some Mcgoo and work it down into the grooves. Man, that is just not coming. So give me just a sec, guys, and I will loosen up these. I'll loosen up these screws and put some batteries in it. All right, there we go. Loosened up the screws. It was just as simple as taking a set of pliers, a multi-tool, and gripping the screwdriver. Just to give that a little extra leverage over it, or torque, or whatever the engineer nerd term is for that. Alrighty, and we'll pop that open, and it reveals the guts of the battery tray. This is definitely a super large battery tray. Well, which makes sense because it's going to hold D batteries, but as far as mod potential goes, to gut that bad boy and stuff some big crazy lipo in, obviously you have a lot of room to do that. If you know Hawkeye or Hawkeye's channel, he's already done a strife integration with one of these, and he uses the front part of the blaster as a strife, but uses this big back battery tray to kind of power all the goodies that he's added to his strife. You should definitely, if you haven't seen his blaster, his NVZ primary, go check it out. So let's see what we got here. One goes that way, one goes that way. Oh man. So this was definitely difficult for me to get a hold of. I went to 3 different Walmarts that the app claimed that they had them, and finally got a toy department manager this morning to help me get one out of the back. It took that though. I mean, I literally had to follow the advice of one of the ladies at the service desk the night before, and come back in the morning just so I could be there when an actual toy manager was there. I don't know what goes on in the stock rooms at Walmart's, but it was not super friendly for my purposes. Alright, so obviously there's some electronic locks here where this is not going to rev with without a mag in. And it looks like, well, maybe that's not the case. Nope, it's not going to rev without the mag in. The button on the jam door has got to be depressed. The mag's got to be in it. And away we go. Let's go ahead and load some darts on it. So yeah, the Walmart app definitely kind of let me down on the Hyperfire. I definitely was excited when I saw that there were some available in my area. I immediately went to a Walmart. Nobody could help me. I couldn't find anybody in the actual toy department. And when I went to the service desk, essentially the 2 women that I talked to at the service desk of the first Walmart were basically like, sorry about your luck, dude, we don't know anything about it, we can't help you. Come back tomorrow. So I didn't go back that next morning. I went to a different Walmart that had it on the list later in the evening the next day, and the same story, couldn't find anybody in the toy department. And when I did go talk to somebody at the service desk, she was kind of like, sorry about your luck, I don't know anything about it. She called somebody else up who said the same thing. Adios, sayonara. So that happened, that same scenario happened to me at 3 different Walmarts. Finally this morning, I showed up early, and I flagged down a lady that worked in the toy department, and she was able to help me immediately. So I guess that's the trick. Go early and talk to somebody who works in the toy department. Let's go ahead and check the rate of fire on this. Saying 5 darts every second, so. I didn't check how long that took, but I believe it. 5 darts a second. That means 25 round drum would have emptied in 5 seconds. It stands to reason if that's what just happened. I like this tiger camo pattern as opposed to the normal like kind of digi camo pattern of N-Strike Elite blasters. This is a new direction, and I don't know, I dig it. We've got looks like 1 sling point. Oh no, we got 2 sling points. So those of you who like to kind of do that 1-point sling, you could really accomplish kind of a similar thing with this with these 2 sling point attachments, because you could, you know, both ends of your sling and just kind of drop it. It's going to hang right up front there. This is definitely heavy, and what started out as, you know, without the batteries in it, is a really front heavy blaster. With the addition of 4 4 D batteries, this is definitely super back heavy. I don't know if it's that back heavy. This is maybe not the most balanced full tang construction, but I don't know, as a whole, like aesthetically, I like this a lot more. Wow, is that a sling attachment point too? So maybe you could do like 1-point sling right here and have it hang. That's pretty crazy. So 1, 2, 3 attachment points at least. Maybe this guy, although I don't think I trust that. That's not one solid piece. I think it's interesting that they chose to only go with 1 rail. And I have yet to see anybody do a crazy combos video, so I don't know what the, you know, it seems like that's the only attachment point. You're only going to be able to put stuff there. We don't have a barrel attachment point. We obviously don't have a stock attachment point. And this guy down here is your grip. So literally a light, a scope, or something up here is your only option. Maybe some kind of 3D printed part, but yeah, right off the rip, you do not have a lot of options when it comes to adding on to this blaster. So it's probably a good thing that it functions, what seems like to me functions pretty well. We'll go ahead, and I've got a makeshift butt range set up, and we'll take it over there, and we'll fire some more darts so you guys can see how this really works. So 1 second. All right, guys, so here we go. Here is the Hyperfire Elite with the drum reloaded, and let's go ahead and take some shots at that temporary butt range over there. I've got 1 tech target, which just seems so sad and lonely there underneath my coworkers' pictures. But let's go ahead and give it. This is about 10, 15 feet away. So it's definitely bogging down a little bit, especially as we get towards the end of the drum. That's kind of unfortunate. You could actually hear it kind of just wind down. But as a whole, you know, it went through that drum pretty quick. Let's come back over here to the couch and see some final thoughts. So there you have it, guys. There's the NERF Hyperfire Elite unboxing, test, and review. As a whole, I like the blaster. I think that at its price point, it's definitely, you know, if you're going to buy a blaster this year, maybe this is not the one for you. I mean, with the Desolator coming out, and, you know, if you're more into Springers, a full auto blaster like this is not probably going to be your favorite bet. I think that this is a modder's wet dream, and in fact, there's already been quite a few modifications done to these, and kind of tear apart guides, and I think this morning I saw somebody had already 3D printed a 180 battery cover for it. So you've definitely got some options when it comes to souping this guy up. Certainly it's got the room to hold way bigger, crazier battery back here. I mean, being that it's got 4 D batteries, like that's already a ton of weight and a ton of space. So you're gonna have plenty of options as far as lipos go in putting them back here. The conveyor belt mech, that's something that I'm I'm going to have to get used to. It seems to function fairly well. The canted flywheels that this is notorious for, and the problems that were associated with, in my 2 full drums of firing, I have not seen any problems, but that doesn't mean that that's not coming down the road. I didn't see any tail spin there, but then again, you guys saw the video, I did not. So we'll take a look at it together after the fact and see how it functioned as far as that. And certainly with it being such close range kind of firing test, I can see that problem possibly arising more in like longer range shots. I think you would definitely want to soup this bad boy up a little bit before you used it for any kind of like HVZ or competitive kind of war. But as far as like an in-the-house blaster, something to give your kid or your younger sibling or something, you're definitely handing them a weapon of mass foam destruction. So, all right, guys. So that's my review and unboxing of the NERF Hyperfire Elite. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, go ahead and show some love when it comes to the thumbs up thing. If you didn't, then adios. Come check us out over on my Facebook group. It's www.facebook.com/groups/EvanBNerf. We got all kinds of stuff going on over there, all kinds of discussions, and I just got a couple of new administrators over there, so always some fun stuff going on in that group. Go check out Hawkeye 007's integration of the Strife and the Hyperfire. I think he's so far, anything I've seen anybody do with it, he's definitely done the coolness. So and Hawkeye's channel is just the hotness anyway. So I highly recommend checking out Ben's stuff and Black Steel Props and all that. So all right, guys. Well, hopefully you have a great day. This is Evan B saying peace and hair grease. Don't get any on you. Much love. Be nice to one another. And Evan B. Nerf 2020 for president. Bye.